I love to observe things, when I'm even driving, when I'm walking. Then there are things that captures my eye, Then, as a focal, once I get captured by that point, it can be color, it can be tonality, contrast of tonality, it can be, some special shapes, from the shapes what I can see. It can be the way it is formed, the rhythm or whatever, any kind from the very important things that I see that captures my eye. Then I stop and find around it what makes it that is beauty. It's not that point that makes beauty, things that is around it. So I search around it, then that things is always that, inspires me, like starting point for my any kind of painting. When before I started, I should have that kind. If I don't have that one, all the day I can go to landscape painting, or when I set my still life in my studio. If I haven't got that kind of essence, I can't do it, and I can't start painting. My name is Fetsum. I born in Eritrea, current elemental, which is in Eastern Africa, and I grew up there and studied my elementary and the university in Asmara. But I studied, unfortunately, mathematics. My first degree is mathematics, because there was no any art school back home there, even though that is my gift and my choice. But I learned myself. Just I was trained myself, with the art, drawing and painting, because there was no art school. I was trying myself. Unfortunately, in 2016, I left back home because of the situation of the country, and I traveled through all the Sinai Desert, the deserts in Sudan, Egypt. Then I reached to Israel. That is its own big story. Then once I reached in Israel, I searched a school where I can study to be a professional painter and artist. Fortunately, after 1 year, I got the right place. That was my dream to study, especially the technical parts through the all the masters techniques, and I got the right place and with the right people. That looks my background related with art in general. I have things that comes to my mind. As human being, we have a lot of things that comes and goes into the ideas. From where they come, I don't know. Always lot of ideas come to our mind every hour, every second, every day, So what I do, I track the things that comes to my mind frequently, I track them. And from that one, I try to change the ideas that come into my mind to say them with words, just to boil it down, to words, like special, like single words, then I write on the words. I can show you maybe sometimes here, for example. I can show you this one is one of the process, yeah, which is when I'm boiling it down, I have to write down the words, words first. The words, they can be related to each other, and the strings of the words also, it is, it has its own power. Once the words, I make organizing and denoting the words to see them. Finally, these words, what the ideas I converted them to words, and from the words, then I try to visualize the words as a symbols. I represent the words as a symbols. Once the symbols, once the symbols are starts, to harmonize each other, then the words the symbols. When I say the symbols, they can be symbols with the shape, with color, with the way they are composed. That is most important. So once they try to give me, full meaning, then I try different way to what is called to compose them. Once from the 3, 4, 5, 6, still I can say sometimes I go till 10 thumbnail drawing and color studies with that one. Till the final that clicks to my mind, still I keep working. Once from all the sketches that I did, some of them they are going to be hatched, Everything is not going to be a chicken, Once the one that is hatched, that is going to be the piece. So this is the process that I go. So starting from idea, then convert it to the words, and convert the words to symbols. Elements we have, the drawing techniques, Then compose these things. Finally, once everything is starts to dance to make the orchestra, then you feel it. The feeling is very important. After these things happen, I put it aside, and I don't see it for a couple of days. Then I have to go back and see it. I have to see it upside down. I have to see it, with different direction. And finally, I ask it, even little kids, especially little kids are really good artists. They are naive. In art, we need to be naive, We don't need to be, So, I ask somebody, it's not necessary to be an artist or who can say, I know this, no. Naive people, especially kids, they tell you the feeling. Now I ask how they feel from what they see. So this is very important. I have to track the feeling, the honesty, what I feel. If it's feeling to them, then I say this is done the painting. So I have that one. I can give you some example of that one. For example, let me show you that camel. The camel is at the snow. Do you want to take it? I can show you the camel there. That camel is, it's about the immigration dilemma, Start is how is the immigration dilemma, I'm a guy is from desert, from back home it's total the opposite weather where I'm living in Canada now. So, finally, why I'm bringing that as an example, the feeling. I showed that feeling not to everybody, for the kids and some people that I can trust, they can tell they are feeling. So, most of them are kids, little kids. Their feeling is very important. I remember one of the kids, she said, oh, the camel, it's hard for her, she is going to die in this weather, what she said. She's going to die. Why she is here? See? Then done, I painted it. This kind of process.
I called him, I talked to him, I have passion to art and everything. All he said is, can I see you tomorrow at this time? And I came. Before we talked about any of it, he already gave me half of the lesson here. He already gave me all the basic drawing class without me enrolling or paying or me being sure that yes, I'm starting school or anything, no. And he gave me his website, and I didn't even pay. Like he didn't even know that if I'm really interested in this class or anything, right? And then he was like, okay, tonight the class starts at 5 and I'll see you at 5. I was actually late to go back home, get ready and come back. He had all the materials ready for me in a bag, all the paper, all the pencil, everything I need. Without me even getting ready, I have everything ready here, and then I start the class right there, same day, right? So that's how I made Fetsum, and that's how I started the class.
So, for example, let me check this one. This is my palette. Palette is very important, I chose. So usually, as I was talking before, simplicity is very important. In technical part, when we are working, and in our daily life, simplicity is very important. There are more than a lot of colors in the store, to buy, but we don't need them everything. We need only the father colors. These are the father colors, I can say, the primary colors: blue, red, and the dark yellow. This is white, is not, I don't consider as a color. So when I'm, to make it simple, this is exactly like buying, fruits, whatever, vegetables from the store. These are our vegetables. So here is going to be my kitchen. I'm going to cook now. This is cooking time now. So this I came back from the store now. I bought shopping. These are the main things that I need. The 3 colors. Okay. This is like water now. The white is like water. Mixing is not considered as a color. Okay. So I always love to organize them. This palette is organized. First of all, it is with the primary colors or father colors. Next, how they are organized is also very important. From light to dark. This is the tonality way they are organized. Next, the temperature from warm to cold. They are organized. Then, lastly, I'm going to say this is the blue one. Let's say this is a man. Okay. Then a woman, he get married, a woman, red woman here. Then they are going to have a baby. His name is Purple, you see. They get married, then they got now a baby's name is Purple. This is, now I have these are parents now. We're going to have kids now. Yeah, these parents, blue man, get married, yellow woman, then the name of the baby is what? Green. This is the name of the baby. Okay. Then the third one is the man. His name is Mr. Red. This is Mrs. Then the name of the baby is what? Orange. So I got now the family. We create family now. 3 colors are children. These are the parents. Okay. Now we're going to create relationship. This kid, green, is a kid of, or his ancestors' parents are blue and yellow. Then with red are opposite. They don't have any relationship. They are opposites because there is no blood relationship. That is not his kid. So when I'm mixing, when I'm putting, when we're organizing, we create contrast now, the opposite color. Most of the time now, if you see if the background is green, we have to put red around it. They fight first. They fight. Then there is a vibration when there is a fighting. Then they make a peace, and the beauty we get from contrast. This is now why we always, if you see the colors when we are making, it's from the relationship. This is what we create, the same with the others. So exactly our mood is very important. What kind mood? So these are organized through that one. All this painting, what is in front of us, are made of that relationship. I try to make it simple. This is like a white, when like the white is like water, so we can make it the tonality, from dark to the light. So that one we can create. Let me show you small example here. Let me do just this very short demo. Yeah. Let's say, let me put small. The shapes are the primary shapes, like with the colors we say. These are the primary colors. Also with the shape, these are the primary shapes are our ancestors. Triangle, circle, and square. Everything is boiled down to these shapes. When when we started to see everything is with these shapes, things they become simple. Why? The nature is wild, is full of complexity, but we have to make it simple. To make it simple, we started to see things with the shape. For example, my head. What is the shape of my head? My shape from the three shapes. Is it circle, closer to circle, or rectangle, or triangle? Where is it closer? I think it's to the circle. That is the family of the shape. So anything what we see in front of us is falls down to these shapes. So now I'm going to, as a shape, this is going to be my shape. But the shapes are created by the alphabet. So, we need to learn the visual alphabets. Drawing and painting, we have the visual alphabets, which are English alphabets, they are 26. But the simplest way in drawing and painting, we have only 4 alphabets. Once we know these 4 alphabets, it's easy to read the painting, how it looks, what is the message, it's easy for us. Which is, let's learn it, or let's see things with A, B, C, and D. Our A is just a dot. Just a dot. This is our A. Our B is a line. We have line is the combination of dots. We combine 2 dots, then we'll get line. We have the type of the lines are only 4 types of lines. Everything is made of these 4 types of lines. Observe. Vertical, as most of the artists we call it the vertical, is a standing line. Horizontal line is like we call it sleeping line. Diagonal line is we call it moving line. The last one is curve. All these 4 we consider as a B. 4 of them, they have their own meaning again. It makes connection with our mind. If we see vertical line, it shows like the power, the standing, If you see the horizontal line, it's like going to the beach, sleeping, a kind of rest. This is not too much. So, using that tools, shape is our C, and the last is going to be the tonality from dark to the light. So let me combine all these 4 things. So I will start. Can I do like a red apple? See, red is going to be my mother color. This is my mother color. So let me put the mother color here. Just I will put the mother color. This. Can you see it? Just I'm putting the mother color here. Okay. Then this mother color, we call it is red. Okay. Needs what? Needs dark side and light side. If there is no light, there is no what we call, there will not be, we can't see any shape. We should have a light. In dark room we can't see anything. So this is the, let's say, cast a shadow, and red, this direction when I go things are getting dark. This direction when I go things are getting light. That's why how I organize it. Blindly without see, I can paint in my, like playing the keyboard, blindly. My hand go, if I'm working with the dark areas, my hand go there. If I'm working to the light area, my hand go to the there. That's automatically it happens once you organize things where they are. When you play like the keyboard, you know. So now I'm going to work with the dark side of this up. So I have to go this direction. I'm putting a little bit blue and then I will make it this side is the dark side, let's say. This is the dark side of, okay. Already I have the mother color red. So if I need the light side of it, I have to add to that red yellow. Very simple. You know, the most important is the direction, which direction I'm going. So I will put it, the light side of it here. The main point is to get the 3D. Then a little bit white, I'll put it a little bit white. So automatically now, this shows this apple is what? This apple kind of color is here, is the opposite color I need, the opposite of this one. What is the opposite of red? Like I said before, it's green. Green and red, they don't have any blood relationship. And the tonality, this is darker. So already I see now what I am going to do. I have to decide my background is going to be green. Why? Because this is the opposite color for that one. And it should not be dark. Why? Because it should be lighter than that one. Because it is what? The opposite. The beauty we can get from the contrast. But the most important point in our life, we get from the contrast we can see things is way and it helps to see the beauty from contrast. From the opposite things, it's easy we can see the beauty from the contrast. But the hardest thing is we have to capture is to get the harmony, things that make them similar. That is the most important to get exactly the good beauty. For example, me and you, we are totally different. We are opposite, we can say. There are a lot of things that makes us different. To see it is not hard, but the most important is to see, to find it that makes us the same. We have to search that things. That makes it harmony. That creates our painting. To create harmony. This is all. That's the most important part. I hope so. It helps. Now, this is about the immigration dilemma. That is from the throat, then I go down towards, like I say. Finally, my main character is the camel. My main character here, you see, there is a contrast. Everything is contrast. The contrast of the weather. She's from the desert. She's living in snowland, which is very hard for her. The color is blue, her color is orange, the color is opposite. Even the color is opposite. Okay, another, how she feel, the feeling is, about the survival. So, all in all, for me, this piece is, is about the immigration dilemma. That's what we are living. It's hard to live, without your root. The root is very important. We have to keep it. This is what I can say. I hope so, one day to go back home and, to live, our spirit, to live there, I mean, I don't complain here. We are living in a peaceful country, peaceful place, but still, we have some in it.